folks, I'm the Shades, and welcome again to Shades' Soapbox. So let's once again talk about the very platform you're watching this video on. Yep, we're talking YouTube again. A little over a year ago, I made a video about how YouTube's copyright and community guideline system is outright broken. But as many of you have probably seen, instead of things getting better, things are only getting much worse. Just when you think things have reached the worst YouTube could possibly do, something new comes along that makes you smack your head in utter disbelief. Let's start with the lesser of evils, but nonetheless utterly stupid. Thanks to actions by the FTC and COPPA, YouTube is now forcing users to choose whether a person's video is made for kids or not, and if they are, comments are removed and the video is demonetized. Now, this in and of itself would be understandable, but there's another side of this that makes this a disaster in the making. See, thanks to the numerous advertising debacles referred to as the adpocalypses, it's becoming more and more difficult to make any sort of living on YouTube. You have the algorithm demonetizing videos for no reason, you have advertisers pulling out, lowering the amount of money a person can even make from ads, and as a result of both of these, creators now have a set of unwritten rules that seem to prevent them from losing what little ad revenue they can make. Problem here is that these restrictions make anyone who follows them lean dangerously close to the made for kids line, meaning the line between the two thresholds is so thin that it'll be almost impossible not to have your video demonetized at this point. Congratulations, YouTube! You have now made your system completely FUBAR. Now, the reason I call this the lesser of evils is, when you think about it, YouTube was kind of backed into a corner here. The first set of adpocalypses forced them to set up the demonetization algorithm, forcing creators to work to become more family friendly. Then, when kid-focused channels kept fucking things up, the FTC got involved, forcing them to correct in the opposite direction. They had no control over that part, but because of how poorly both of these have been handled, there's really no way to survive unless you're already an established money-making platform. Which brings us to our next problem. A recent change in YouTube's terms of service has got the community in an outright panic. As you can see, it states that YouTube can terminate your access to all or part of YouTube's service if they believe providing it to you is no longer commercially viable. Now, this is really vague and could mean a number of things, but what it appears to be for most of us is, if you're not making us enough money to sustain us, we're not gonna let you upload content anymore. Seriously, Google? Seriously? This was never the point of YouTube to begin with! The idea was just a fun place for people to upload videos to share with friends. And while obviously things had to change when advertisers got involved, this is now the antithesis of what it was when it started. This could easily make it so only those who are already well established will be allowed to continue, while those who can't keep up, myself included, could be wiped out, never allowed the chance to make it. This is horrifying. How does any newcomer stand a chance if they can't get themselves noticed within whatever time frame you give them? What if the next video they upload could be the one that finally hits it big for them, but they're denied the chance to upload due to some arbitrary time limit they don't know about? You've essentially scared away thousands of potential next big things that will never meet that potential. Soon, those who are already established will eventually retire, and all you're gonna have left are the corporations who don't need YouTube. And that goes against everything this platform stood for. As my buddy Spade Ace likes to say, but wait, it gets better! Because we have yet another case of YouTube bullshit, albeit one that's kind of been resolved. See, recently, top YouTuber Markiplier hosted a stream for his YouTube original series, The Heist. I want to stress this now, this was promoting a YouTube original series. And in this stream, he asked fans to use emotes in the chat to determine what path he would take, since it was a choose-your-own-adventure series. Well, when people started spamming emotes as requested, the YouTube algorithm kicked in once again, and not only suspended people's YouTube accounts, but their entire Google account as well. This means that their Google Drive, their Gmail, their calendar, photos, all of it, locked out. Now, this might have been understandable since emote spamming can be an issue, and the algorithm is designed to stop that in most cases. But where it gets utterly stupid is when people try to appeal it. See, when an appeal is requested, that is when a human being looks over things and decides if the algorithm made a mistake. But in this case, almost every appeal was originally denied, meaning all those accounts were essentially permabanned. This was the dumbest thing you could do, especially since it involved one of your top creators, one that has over 24 million subscribers. Now, eventually, the problem was fixed, and most of those affected have gotten their accounts back, but only after Mark himself made a video calling this out and his team hounding YouTube to fix it. Imagine if this was a creator who wasn't so popular, someone who didn't have the clout Markiplier had. Would they have been as willing to fix this so quickly? I honestly doubt it. It's easy to believe the only reason this was resolved so fast because it was one of their top stars promoting their own production. If this had been a lesser creator, those accounts would have been lost. And just when you thought I was done, I've got one more, as there are reports of people's accounts getting stolen, sold on the black market, and used for scams. And these aren't simple hacks being pulled either. Thanks to an exploit in YouTube's system, they are able to bypass two-factor authentication and disable it, allowing them free reign to steal the channel. Tons of channels have had this happen, and YouTube is doing nothing about it. People's livelihoods and their legacies are being wiped out for the sake of a quick buck. This is terrible. How does YouTube recover from all this? How do they fix all these mistakes and make the platform viable again? Honestly, I don't think they can. The only reason they are still in business is because they've made themselves so massive, so ingrained in our society as the video platform that they can't fail. But as I said in my last video on YouTube, it's only a matter of time. It's not going to happen overnight, but sooner or later, some other video platform is going to arrive at just the right time, and people will slowly start moving over to it. Don't think it can happen? Oh, it can, as it's happening with others. Look at Twitch, the #1 streaming platform out there. Some of their biggest names like Ninja are being brought over to its competitor Mixer. Now, the jury's still out on whether that's gonna work, but if it does, then YouTube needs to watch itself, cause it'll be next. YouTube, this is your warning. Fix this mess now! You cannot rest on your laurels right now, much as you think you can. Eventually, you will face competition, and if you're not able to keep up, they will steal your talent, offer a better service, and eventually, you will die. I suggest you get to work and pray things don't get any worse for you. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me here today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Shades, and we'll see you next time. Rock on!